Electric is no problem. I talked to them also. It's just a matter of getting the funds. As far as I know, this was a road that went to Highway 130. I have the map here. I'm going to be trying to find out. This is the road in question. I'm going to be trying to find out who owns this road, and it goes across the Highway 130 to the other side. Our lot, you can see it. Let me get a little closer. Our lot's right there. It's very, very close, straight through. You can see the highway. It's about a stretch of 300 feet, and then we would be able to have water. Electric is no problem.
The applicant is requesting a special permit to allow the development of a 3,600 square foot farm and garden retail store and related improvements on 32,670 square feet of land. The proposed farm and garden retail store will stock and sell various products related to farming, animal care, and agriculture, maintenance, including the following: primarily Hawaii-grown agricultural products, vegetables, herbs, fruits, coconuts, trees, native plants, fragrant seasonal flowers, ground covers, palms, trees, plants conducive to bee pollination, and medicinal plants, and other non-agricultural products including farm feed, scratch feed, pet food, dog and cat warmers, fish food, aquaculture products, plant pots, pesticides and herbicides, various birds, live fish, egg-laying chickens, and agriculture-related tools. The applicant is proposing to complete construction within 1 year of receiving all the necessary planning and building permits, with an estimated cost of $150,000.
Everything we do is agricultural related. The property is zoned ag. So all we're trying to do is utilize that property for its main intention, agricultural.
The subject parcel is located outside of the Pahoa Regional Town Center boundary, as was designated by the Puna Community Development Plan. The CDP designated 2 areas of Pahoa Town as part of that regional town center, and that's indicated by these dashed lines. As you can see, the subject parcel is more Mackay and outside of that area. Here's an aerial photograph of the subject parcel and surrounding area. Again, we've got the Pahoa Bypass Road generally running north-south. This photograph shows the property being vegetated. However, the property's been cleared of the vegetation and graded. So it looks a little bit different on the ground.
So here we go. We're going to be turning onto the property. I got my blinker on. Line of sight's clear all the way down.
The applicant's submitted site plan. You've got now the bypass road running east-west on this image. The access would come off the bypass road toward the east, on the eastern side of the property, and access a parking area here fronting the bypass road with the proposed 3,600 square foot warehouse, greenhouse here on the side, and then this area of the property would be the area for plants. Here's some views of the Pahoa Bypass Road looking north, and that's these areas here. The Pahoa Bypass curves in this area. The subject driveway access is roughly in this area.
The issue is, I guess they're just hell-bent on access off of Highway 130. Kalapana all the way down has been taken. So this is where they're worried about all this traffic flow and accidents that are going to happen. Line of sight.
The planning director is recommending denial of this application for several reasons. The proposed use is inconsistent with the objectives to be sought to be accomplished by the land use law and regulations. The proposed use could unreasonably burden public agencies to provide infrastructure. There are some traffic safety concerns. And the request is contrary to both the general plan and Puna Community Development Plan.
We're pulling up to the highway. You can see all the way down past the corner If you look right, envision that berm being cut down about 3 or 4 feet, which would be less expensive for us. It's safe. Look to the right. Line of sight. It's safe. And now we'll pull out. As you notice the traffic flow right now on a school day, this is what you get.
We got some comments from the Department of Transportation. This is a Department of Transportation road. So to determine if the access is safe and appropriate for commercial uses, State DOT is recommending that prior to the Planning Commission granting a special permit, the applicant be required to submit an access assessment prepared by a professional engineer for review and acceptance by the DOT. The assessment should include verification of site distance and an evaluation of the driveway for commercial operation. The idea here being that if DOT is not going to grant access for a commercial use here, it doesn't make sense for the Planning Commission to approve a special permit. They've chosen to move forward with the request, so based on those reasons that we stated, the Planning Director is recommending that the Commission deny the application for a special permit in this area.
Well, my question was, is there any possibility for access to this parcel from not using any part of the bypass road?
I don't believe it touches. Oh, are you talking about coming from Pahoa?
Right.
I maybe have the applicant try to address that, but again, I believe that's across several easements across several parcels, so they'd have to get easement done that way.
You know, growing up in Pahoa on the left-hand side, when I was a little boy, we used to call it the Cane Road.
Mm-hmm.
So that road was basically just open. County didn't maintain it, but you know, there were people that laid down gravel,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically, yeah, it was always open. I guess for anybody to use, but at the moment it's being used with the Catholic Church.
Yes.
So if there is, you know, if you need easement, I guess, you know, they would have to discuss things with Sacred Heart, maybe.
This is the road that's in question that nobody could say who owns it. This is what the Department of Transportation and the Windward Planning Commission said would be a better access point off the main highway. This is the telephone pole in the tree that we were looking at from the other side of the lot. There's the lot. It's about 40 yards. A lot of backfill. Now as we go up this road, we're going to go up and then we'll back out. I just want to show you how this road goes, because on the map it shows it goes straight through. As you go down this road, it does not have a thoroughfare where you could drive straight through. It's blocked off.
Yeah.
And this is the fence that blocks it off. And there's your Hope Services transitional housing.
This one is obviously a bit challenging, so I'd like to first start by hoping that you all keep an open mind, because this is a bit of an explanation and a bit of a story. The applicant originally purchased the property, and he went to the county planning department with an agricultural-based commercial to get an agricultural-based commercial operation certification. And based on ag land, that's something that you can do, and you can basically sell a majority of ag products. Due to the fact that he sold various products that didn't quite fit that criteria, i.e. like a herbicide or dog food, it didn't quite match up. When he originally purchased the property, he thought that he would be able to do that and get in, and have his business there. I think it's very important to understand that this application is primarily agriculture in nature. It's being deemed a commercial operation, which by right it is, but it's agriculture-based commercial operation that's needed on ag land. And if he didn't sell a few of these things that are needed in the community, dog wormers, cat wormers, dog food, etc., he'd be able to operate there just under ag without needing a special permit. So Mr. Quinn bought the land, went in there thinking he could get the agriculture operation certification done. Basically, God said, no, you can't do that, and the only way to do it is by way of a special permit. He contacted me, we talked about it. We realized that the location of this area does have some challenges. If he was gonna be doing a convenience store, we would not be sitting here. But because this is primarily ag-based, we're here to make our argument. And we have some people here that have a long history and knowledge of the Pahoa area, the community development plan, and they'll be able to share some of their insight. But before we get into more of the details on it, I'd like to have Mr. Quinn tell his story.
My name is William Quinn. I've been in Hawaii for 45 years, married for 43, 4 children ranging in ages from 27 to 42, 8 grandchildren. I currently work at Pahoa Feed and Fertilizer. We are a small family-owned and operated business with 7 employees. We have been serving this community for the past 19 years, and it has been a privilege and an honor for our family to serve the community. We served the community through the housing crisis and recession. We served the community through 2014's lava flow, and we're still serving the community through May's lava flow. 50% of our business is a nursery, 50% is retail. I don't know if you folks have a list of our nursery items, but it is kind of extensive. On November 2nd, I received some documents from the planning department. There are a few issues in this document that I would like to clarify. First of all, on page 1, under findings of fact, item 1, the first paragraph, they forgot to mention that 400 feet southwest of the parcel, there is a traffic light, which is located near the Pahoa High School, and an intersection that has been controlled by this traffic light for the traffic flow. But traffic is desolate and dead because of the recent lava flow of May 2018. On page 2, hours of operation, I just now let Zendo know that we will close on Sunday. Item number 6, supporting information. The Ogasawara family and the Huta family are not involved in this project. It is our family solely. Planning Department Exhibit 4. We received a letter from the Department of Transportation on Punchbowl Street in Honolulu. In the first paragraph, it is noted that 45 miles and 55 miles is the speed limit posted on the Pahoa bypass. The Pahoa bypass section of road that's in question starts at the roundabout with a posted speed limit of 20 miles per hour. After leaving the roundabout heading towards the lot, you will hit the Post Office Road and Haas intersection. It is posted at 35 miles per hour. From the roundabout to the traffic light, it's a 1-mile stretch of highway. It is not 45 and it is not 55.
The speed limit posted is 35 on this highway, Dave.
It's not 55 or 45. Here's our lot. The second paragraph, the special permit is being sought to allow the proposed operation to sell various imported projects, which the application indicates would promote business viability. Otherwise, the permit would not be required. Our family does not import items. Everything that comes into the state, seeing how we live on an island, is shipped to us. We do not have containers coming in. We buy our inventory locally. We are not a commercial operation. We're a green industry. 50% of our business is a nursery. All products are bought locally. There's also a letter from the Department of Land and Natural Resources Engineering Division. It's in regards to the water buildup on that highway. Hydroplaning was one of the complaints. The hydroplaning issue, there is a sump right off to the right, and that sump has a pipe running underneath the highway, a huge metal pipe for water. There is a sump at the intersection of that Kane Road that Gilbert had brought up. That sump is located outside of our parcel, right at the intersection. That sump has a huge metal pipe running underneath the highway. As it rains heavily, the water comes down the road, hits the sump, goes underneath the highway. That particular sump has to have preventive maintenance done on it. I'm not bad-mouthing the state or the county. They do a terrific job. However, preventive maintenance on that sump and cleaning that pipe that runs underneath the highway would eliminate a lot of the concerns about hydroplaning. Mr. Weatherford feels also that big trucks and trailers would be coming in blocking the highway. This does not happen in the 19 years I've been serving the community of Pahoa. Commercial farmers go to town. Commercial farmers buy fertilizer tonnage. Our price is a retail price. It's $5 more a bag for a 50-pound bag of fertilizer. Commercial farmers usually buy tonnage, 2 tons, 1 ton. There's 40 bags per ton. At a $5 cost per bag, it would run the farmers $250 more per pallet. We have never had commercial farmers come into our store in the 19 years I've been there. It has been something that I wish we could have, but they prefer going and buying it wholesale as we do from Hilo.
You already own an existing business somewhere near this area?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, for 19 years.
And that's located where, please?
Old Government Road. It's right before the rubbish dump road in Pahoa. Viability for our family to move to one of the strip malls. The issue with that is the strip malls charge right now Punakai $3 a square foot. The building we're looking at is $3,600. The Punakai Shopping Center also requests maintenance fee per 1,000 square feet of $69 a month. They also would like to look at your books and take money, 10% of your gross profits. So the viability of us to move to one of these locations that the state or county feels is more acceptable is not there. It would cost us over $10,000 a month in fees and rent. If we go this route with putting up a building, we're working with a small business across the street, First Hawaiian Bank. A monthly payment of putting up a building like that would probably be anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
And why is it that you can't just stay where you are?
The building that we're in, where we are presently, was built in 1967. It's over 50 years old. It's run down, the roof leaks. The people that own the land behind us, because the parcel we're on is a 10-acre parcel subdivided in 7 lots. The people behind us regraded their lot. Yeah, that was without a permit, but when it rains heavy, that water rushes down our driveway, goes into our warehouse, our office. We have to put sandbags out, and it creates a situation. The roof is over 50 years old in the existing building that we're in now. It leaks, and we feel in our heart the people of Pahoa, the Puna area, deserve a nice new location. We only receive 40 to 60 customers a day at the most. It's not a heavily trafficked road now, that section of Highway 130. We started this last year, November. We never anticipated the May lava flow, which wiped out. So the highway doesn't have that heavy traffic flow anymore because all the houses are gone. Entrance is through Hawaiian Beaches now for people down in Wawa. They don't come up through Nanavali area, Pohohiki. All that ceased.
We have received approximately 258 signatures. We've received 2 letters of opposition. But what I wanted to mention was, as most of you know, I served on the Planning Commission. I had that privilege of doing that in the past. I served for 3 years. I never missed a meeting in 3 years, not once. And there would be applications that would come in for Puna. And most of the times those applications had a recommendation of denial. And after about the 6th one, and majority of those, we talked about it, we discussed it, and out of about the sixth time we actually approved the application. So it came in as the denial, we had discussion, we had debate on it. I obviously had a pretty loud voice in there. We would approve it. The Planning Commission would approve it. And after the 6th time, I was having lunch with Bobby G and Leith Head Todd at that time, after one of the commission meetings, and I honestly felt bad. This is the 6th time I went against the director. This is the 6th time. So I leaned over to BJ and I said, BJ, I'm sorry. You know, I'm sorry I keep going against you. And she said, Zendo, you don't worry about it. My job as a planning department and planning director is to do this, is to say, hey, if it doesn't meet this criteria, I have to stick with that, because I can't have that latitude. But the Planning Commission, you guys as the planning commissioners, you guys do have that latitude. That's why you're here, and that's why you can make that decision. I think that's something very important to consider, and I respect that, because we need the planning department to stay on point. And to me, this does not set precedents. And I think that's something also very, very, very important to consider. To me, this wouldn't set precedents. If this was doing a convenience store, a gas station there, that'd be a completely different story. This is an ag-based local family business. The only reason that he can't do what he want to do as the zoning is because he sells products that don't fit that criteria. I really appreciate everybody, all the commissioners, just considering this, thinking about it. If we have to continue this, to have further discussion, we're open to it. But just please consider that this your guys' decision on this is paramount for Mr. Quinn and his family.
Where you presently located now, you don't own that, right? You're renting or leasing from there.
Leasing.
Yeah?
And all I am is an employee over there. Yes, sir.
And as far as, you know, I've been to that feed shop when my egg layers needed feed. I didn't want to go to town, and, you know, it was there. So all of my life, 46 years in Pahoa, never did have one feed shop. Never have nothing for farmers. Ourselves, we lost our farming couple, you know, can help move on with life. But across the street, on the Makai side, there's a lot of ag farm there. We currently, you know, I got secured at least 22.5 acres to farm again, papaya, bananas, whatever we got to do. But, you know, as far as that there is a big tract of ag farm in the back. So I see your point of serving our community as far as the feed. You know, everybody get cattle and whatnot. And again, yes, our director, Mr. Yee, got to do what he got to do. It's understandable. It's planned across the board. But as far as what you do, my question is, if this application, we can go round and round or whatever, what would happen if never did work out? That's my question to you.
What would happen is, after 19 years of serving the community, it has been a privilege, Gilbert, I promise you that. I'm not bankrolling nothing. If it was denied, I would wait about 4 months or so. I'd put a for sale sign on that lot, and Pahoa Feed and Fertilizer would close down, and that would be it. There would be no feed and fertilizer store like there has been the past 19 years. And people would have to start driving to Hilo to purchase those products. That's the school. I also would like to express to you during all this time, I found out on Friday that my oldest brother passed away up in Paradise, California.
Oh my gosh.
With the fire, the campfire, they call it. And then I found out Wednesday was our meeting with the council. Thursday morning was the fire up in Paradise. Friday morning, we kind of knew something was up. We didn't hear from my brother at all. And then through Facebook, we found out that he passed away in his house. His house burnt down and his roof fell on top of him. So there's a lot on my plate right now.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth on this matter before the commission today?
I do. To my mind, a special permit shouldn't even be required. We're looking at ag land, and we're looking at an applicant who for 19 years has been providing and enabling ag support products and services to the local community.
The whole concept of the bypass is long gone. They put in a roundabout that gets you in there at 20 miles an hour. It goes into a complex of streets that and turn pockets and other things that get you either into Pahoa or on the road down to Kahakai and Hawaiian Beaches, Hawaiian Shores. Then within less than a quarter of a mile, you are in a 35-mile-an-hour school zone.
If you see this telephone pole, it's kind of like a piece of dead land that we don't feel anybody will develop. As far as I know, it's the Catholic Church that owns the right-of-way and the property over here. It's been expressed to me that we would get permission to enter from that side. What it's going to require money. It's going to require backfill. It's going to probably require 30 truckloads, 30 cubic yards a truck.
I'll point out to you that my name is in the Puna Community Development Plan because I chaired the document. And our whole point of this was to create economic development, make jobs for the people that live in Puna.
But as commissioners, what we approve on a positive standpoint, it has to be,
They're giving me 2 months to research this to come back in January, which I'm very, very grateful for. With all the things that are happening now, I'm kind of running out of gas. I just trusted Jesus, and hopefully we can solve the issues for the Windward Planning Commission and Mr. Yee from Planning Department.